Welcome. Hang on. Turn this off. There we go. Welcome, everyone. And it's been a hot minute since I've been here. We're going to hide that. So today, it's good to see all of you here. We've got Tennessee and New York and Hawaii and Maryland, Illinois. Aloha, Sandy. Looking forward to Bali in just a couple weeks. Well, it's actually 4 weeks. It only feels like 2 weeks, but excited about that. So, for those of you who are already here or listening to the live, the Bali adventure is now closed, and we are excited to be going to Bali for a very big adventure. I recently discovered that I've been given 5 keys. And just like when I went to Egypt, I had no idea how those 5 keys that I was given before I went, I had no idea how those were going to be used. And it's really just a matter of listening to how you're being guided and directed. So, again, I've been given 5 keys. I don't know what that means, how to use them before, but it's a matter of listening and paying attention to. So, about 3 of them will be used in Bali, and the other 2 in Angkor Wat, which I'll be going to after Bali, which I've been called to go there. And so I'm excited to see how that's all going to unfold. We have Sandra from LA. Welcome. And I'm just going to take a quick over here to Instagram. Let's see who we got. We have Northern Illinois. Are you both in Tennessee? And welcome, Terry. All right. So we're going to be kind of jumping back and forth as I feel a little bit in my ADD nature, like going kind of a little bit of everywhere. And so I have some ideas of things that I want to talk about tonight. And also kind of what's been going on with me, because I've also been going through it. You guys been going through it. Hasn't this been pretty interesting, pretty challenging? And so one of the things that I wanted to address and that I've noticed is how it is to be around people. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed that, like, you don't even want to be around people and they're a little too crunchy, a little too angry, a little too something? They just tick you off, they push your buttons, and you just would rather isolate yourself. Anybody or any of you there with me on that one? Yes, lots going on, of course. And so I wanted to address why this is happening, what's really going on. So, in case you haven't noticed, there are a lot of angry people. There's so much angry energy on the planet right now by design. There are lots of energetic programs that are being programmed out into the ethers by the dark side. And of course, our wireless technology, AKA Aura, is going to pick up and intercept all of those angry energies. And so you might be noticing that you're having thoughts that you like, it doesn't feel like it's you. That's because it's not. And just remember that 95% of what you think and feel is not yours. And so that's a lot of what we're intercepting into our field right now. And so what's happening, because people are likely, unless you're here and you come on a regular basis, or you're using the tools, the infinity system, to run your energy and clear your field on a regular basis, with the most important part of that whole process is making sure you're grounded. Now, in order to do that, you need to test somehow. You need to get that internal yes. Am I grounded? Am I not grounded? That is number one, numero uno of anything. Because otherwise, you're going to be like I hear often is, oh, I do your thing every day, and how could I not be grounded? Well, it's because you missed that first part and you're just going through the motions. And likely, like a lot of people, you're using the meditation to kind of leave your body so you can escape all the garbage that's going on here. But unless you have a grounding cord, there's nowhere for it to go. So that's kind of energy 101. And so what's happening is you've got all this angry energy in your energy field. You've got no grounding cord to release it. And then it backs up, feels really uncomfortable. You're leaving your body. So many of you only in your body a few percent, 2, 3%, maybe 15%. You can operate like that, but you're not going to feel what's going on. You're not going to feel how angry you are. And so when you bump up against other people energetically, and all of this out here, these are our mirrors. Some of you might have a hard time with that, but that's the truth. So as your mirror bumps up against your world and is angry, you ever notice how everybody out here is angry, but you're not angry? Well, that's because you're out of touch with your anger. And so when you bump up against these people, rubbing elbows and finding all these angry people, they're also showing you that you have a lot of angry energy in your field that you're unaware of. That's not to make anybody wrong. This is all about creating more awareness about what's going on in our field so that we can navigate in the world on purpose and more present. The greatest and most important thing in the evolution of humanity that we are learning on this planet is how to be fully present, fully embodied as that Christ consciousness energy. So basically, we're learning how to be angels in human form. So this is just a matter of accommodating more light frequencies. So the more of these darker energies we can let go of, the more we're going to allow more light into our field. And so that's the whole point of our evolutionary process, is how do we allow as much light as possible into our energy field while staying completely grounded and in our bodies. Now, that's a tall order for many of you, or for people in general, for humanity. And but this is where we are evolving to. So this idea that we're becoming more crystalline in our energy anatomy and in our physiology, letting go of that carbon-based body, stepping into more of our crystalline light body, that means we're holding more light, more information. And so that's kind of the process and purpose of our evolution, in my opinion. So, having said all that, if you noticed you're feeling really angry, wanting to isolate yourself, it's likely because you don't have a grounding cord. There's nowhere for all that energy to go. So, if you do not have my meditation yet, I know it doesn't really help to post the links on here because I know you can't click on them. So, really, the easiest place for you to go, I was going to say I have glasses right here in my lap, is to go to my website and get. This is my website right here, which is very simple. It's just my name, KimberlySherry.com. And so if you go to my website, a lot of the things I talk about are there as a clickable link. So this 8 and 20-minute meditation that I talk about as a way of running your energy, that is the process that's outlined in my book, Access Your Ultimate Power, The Blueprint to Infinite Intelligence, available on Amazon. So that whole process is outlined in there. And this is part of like Energy 101, learning how to master your energy field by keeping it clear. And that 20-minute meditation, and there's an 8-minute version, is going to help you do that. It's free. You can just go there and find that. So let's see if you guys have any questions yet. I do have a few things that I do want to talk about. One of which is about the Pope. Let's see where we have. So we have some other people here from Kailua. Is that how I pronounce? Is that the right way to pronounce it? And Kansas and Lanakai Beach. Oh, that's what you're from, Hawaii, right? The information you share rings true. I have not before heard of some things you share, such as the rings. I'd like to embrace their truths. Yeah, so that whole system, every time all the things I talk about, the creative rings above our head, our circle of reciprocity, being able to give and receive. A lot of the energy anatomy that I'm talking about is all explained in here. And it of course, I had to draw a finish line for that book, even though it's a living, evolving system that's constantly growing and changing as we are. So this infinity system, there's more to it. And if you participate in our live active meditation, I do this on the first Thursday of every month, the luminary activation. There's a clickable link on my website. That when we do that live activation, you're going to notice that they were doing things more currently that are not in the book. So we've evolved past that, and we're grounding in ways that are a little different than what's in the book. And so, thus, my second book is in the works, where we're going to be applying. I'm applying the infinity system to our physiology, our human, our physiology, and our all of our body systems and body organs. So everything can be calibrated, including the light quotient, which is how much light, cellular light, is in all of those body systems and body organs. And this is next level of how we are creating more natural, vibrant longevity. So that's what the next book is really about: is how we can be vibrantly um, vibrantly longevity, vibrantly living long time, but not just living a long time. If you are going to live a long life, you want a full, vibrant, healthy, youthful life. We don't want to just live a long time. That would not be fun. Just extending on the decline. So I do believe that our the aging process is a program. We discovered that in one of the programs that we did that introduced all of this. And so, anyway, that's the next book, is going to be all about applying that whole system to our physiology. All right, where can I find this book? Is on Amazon. So the name of the book is Access Your Ultimate Power: The Blueprint to Infinite Intelligence, available on Amazon. I'm not sure if there's a link on my website. There may be, but there's also you can just Google it on Amazon. You'll find it. So so that's the book, and let's see what else here. Very helpful, yes. How long do we stay focused on illuminating brighter light in areas congested? How long do we stay focused? Um, I think what you're asking is, how long do you stay focused in order to eliminate a block? It can be just a matter of seconds. um, so yeah, if you know how to get that internal yes, you can ask, is the block clear? And I think that's basically what you're asking. Um, okay, good. So that is the questions that are up for right now. So one of the things I wanted to address was this issue around the Pope. So for those of you who don't know, the Pope died. I guess it was over Easter weekend, just over this past weekend. Um, and so one of the things that I am quite familiar uh, with the Pope. 2 years ago, I spent 4 months traveling with a mentor at the time through all of Egypt, Vatican City, London City, for 4 months on a big excursion. When we went to the Vatican, that was quite interesting. And just so you know, and this is my understanding. The reason I'm getting hesitant all of a sudden is because the censorship is very much alive and well. And so I want you to know that I am dedicated to bringing truth and uh, more conscious energy. So I just got kicked off of TikTok for the second time. So I won't be back there. It's, for me, it's a clear indication that not a place to really spend much of my time or energy. And if you saw the video, in fact, you can see it on Instagram. The video that got me kicked off was talking about, looking. You could look at a cactus, and are you focusing on the flowers or the thorns? Right. Well, that's the video. That was the last video on TikTok. So I'm done with TikTok, and I've never gotten a dinged on Instagram, so I'm going to lean a little harder into just sharing my truth, and that's the way it should be, right? And also into more readings. I've gotten away from that because that was the first ding on TikTok got me kicked off for doing an energy reading on Vision Lakhani, Mind Valley. You can find it on YouTube. Um, at any rate, so I'm just going to lean into speaking my truth, and you don't nobody here has to believe one thing I say, which is fine. Calibrate for yourself, check in with yourself, find out what's true for you. So let's take this off. Uh, so getting back to the Pope. Now, I'm not going to share this from as I always do, not sharing this from things I've read or heard or whatever. I'm just sharing what I calibrate to be the truth. And it will remain to be seen if it's true or not. So far, everything I've said has been true. So, and take it or leave it, as with everything. Take whatever works and leave the rest. That's how it should always be. I'm not here to be your guru. As a matter of fact, that's kind of the whole point of what's happening with the Pope. It is the beginning of the downfall. Of course, I think it's been falling for some time, but definitely the beginning of the end for the Catholic Church. And if you're Catholic here, I'm just stating some truths. So one of my biggest lessons, having grown up as a Jehovah's Witness in a religious cult, I have become very much an expert at identifying cults and cult mind control. I did run a support group for 9 years after leaving the Witnesses, and actually literally saved people's lives there who were suicidal, as was I before I left. So the Pope is, when we were in the Vatican, we learned that none of the popes are the Pope. I mean, it's a body, but what happens is they kind of step aside, and the Black Pope, as in not Black and as an Afro-American, Black as in dark, a dark Pope, comes in, and that's what channels through the Pope. And so this is why all of the most heinous and most darkest depravities have happened inside the Vatican, and where this has become a major cesspool for child trafficking. And for those of you who can't stomach that, this is the truth. So it is the beginning of the fall of the Catholic Church. And so will this be the last Pope? So there's prophecies that are saying that this is going to be the last Pope. There's other people that are saying, well, there's still another space for the next Pope, for their tombstone or whatever it is. There's still one more space after this guy dies. So I'll just tell you what I'm getting, and remains to be seen if this is accurate or not. And sometimes it's a matter of asking the right questions. But when I ask if this is the last Pope, I'm getting a yes. And my guess is that they will try to put someone else in place. So when I was looking at that, it seems like they try to put someone else in place, but either it's not going to work, or it's a clone, or it's not a Pope. That's just what I'm getting. So this Pope has never been, what people it is. It has been this dark entity that has been channeling through, and this is what has been leading the Catholic Church. So having said that, there's also another part of this Pope Francis that part of this prophecy is that he would meet the Antichrist, or the last pope would meet the Antichrist before he ends his rule or reign or whatever. So I just want to talk about the Antichrist for a minute. So, as I ask if it's a real person, I'm getting a no. So it's not a single person. It is not like a person that we need to look out for, like who is the Antichrist. It's actually a frequency, and the frequency anti-Christ, being against Christ, is all the energies that are against are trying to push down this Christ consciousness energy, which has been including the Catholic Church, and basically all these religions that want to um, bring your attention to the outside, so that your salvation is outside of you. If you turn your life over to Christ, which is outside of you, if you turn your attention to the elders in your church, or uh, I've forgotten all the terms for the people that run the churches, the priests, etc. Um, that is the biggest lesson that people who are religious are learning. And it's going to be a very hard lesson. I know I personally experienced this and nearly killed myself in the process. So it's not an easy process. I was raised in a religious cult that claimed to be the truth. And I was in it from birth, and I thought that this was, in reality, the way that we were God's chosen people and made to feel very special, etc. Well, the long and the short of it was that it was all lies, and it was not true. And so this is the biggest and hardest lesson that people are learning who are in a religion with all their devotion outward, is learning that our salvation, our coming to terms with our connection with source, it is not on the outside, it is on the inside. And so this Christ consciousness, Christ returning, is also not a literal person. You're not going to see Jesus on the clouds, you're not going to see him resurrected. This is a frequency. And so this Christ consciousness is an energy that we are embodying. And as we bring more and more of that frequency into more and more of the cells in our body, this is also how we become we embody more light. That's what Christ is. He is the embodiment of light and love and God and all those things. So Christ is not returning in the flesh. Muscle test it for yourself. See what you guys get. And there is not a singular person as an antichrist. It is a frequency. So, having said that, the end times, that was another thing I was going to talk about. Um, let's see, I'll get some of your questions. Okay, hang on just a second here. Hmm, yes, TikTok is weird. um, I had, just so you know, I had great success on TikTok. And it was a bit of a tsunami of success for a while. And then they just don't want to hear the truth. So that's really the bottom line for me. Is getting a yes on the Pope. Good. Thank you, Sandy, for validating that. If people have given themselves over, how do they get everything back? Given themselves over? It's just a decision. That's really all it is. It is a decision, and then from there might be some energy cleanup that's needed. I know when I was in my religious cult, there was a lot of energetic detox. You know, when all of your beliefs and thoughts, everything you've been trained to believe, passes through this cult filter or your religious filter. All the Catholic guilt and shame and penance and so forth and so on. those are programs in your field that can be removed. So maybe that's a bigger question of what you meant. Um, and not sure what you mean, aliens for beginners. There's a laziness factor. I'm not sure what you're referring to there. Maybe you could elaborate. So the one other thing that I wanted to talk about were the end times, because part of this Pope prophecy was that the last Pope would be during these end times. And so, having grown up as a Jehovah's Witness, talked about the Great Tribulation and Armageddon, and my life was in preparation for that. In fact, in 1975, because that's when Armageddon was supposed to be happening. Um, they were supposed to happen in October. So in September of 1975 was when I got married, because we wanted to get under the wire there. And so this Armageddon, looking for Armageddon and the end of the world, has been a major focus for me whole life until I left the Jehovah's Witnesses when I was suicidal more than 20 years ago, maybe about 25 years by now. But nonetheless, we did talk a lot about the end times. So my whole life has been about the end times. And I would say that, what we're experiencing now, we keep wondering, like, how much worse is it going to get? Well, if you keep asking that question, you'll find out, you'll see. um, but as I also ask, like, how much longer is the depth of this chaos going to go on? It was 3 years. Now it's down to about 2.5 years. And so I don't actually know what that means, what's going to happen at the end of those 2.5 years. But for that amount of time, which makes sense to me, that it's going to take that long for everything to crumble. We have our governments that need to crumble, and we can see that falling apart in a very big way. And I say thanks to Elon and his hard work. I know a lot of people have mixed feelings about him, and I'm not a Trump supporter one way or the other, but he is definitely doing the tasks that need to be done in order for the government to fall. So, and now we have religion falling. The school systems need to fall. And also, we also see a big crumbling in the whole family structures. And so, what I also seeing in the family structures is there's also a whole new wave of uh, more evolved conscious people that are recreating what a conscious partnership looks like, conscious families, how to raise children in a more conscious way. And so that's actually already starting to happen. A lot of these things are already starting to happen. But for the next 2.5 years, I don't believe we've reached a peak yet of the crumbling. So we thought things were bad during the pandemic, but there's more waves of chaos and so forth that are planned, and also the whole financial system is getting a big reboot. And so over the next 2.5 years, that's a lot of stuff that needs to crumble, so that it can. So the end times is really it. What comes after end is a new beginning, and so that's where our focus needs to be. Is how are we going to create this new beginning for us? What is it that we want to see in this golden age, in this new world? How are we contributing to um, new beginning going forward? And so that's the part that we can play these future times, is start contributing to what you want to see better, and uh, fighting against what's not already not working. That doesn't work either, because people have been fighting against that forever. So we really need to get into creating what it is we do want. And so, in that vein, I'll let you know one of the things I'm working on creating is an academy for this infinity system. So it's the Vibrant Longevity Academy, which I hope to launch next spring, so that people can learn in a more educational form systematic format, and being able to practice this ability to calibrate. It's really the most important thing that people need to learn how to do right now, is to learn how to calibrate. Otherwise, you have to take my word for it. You have to take somebody else's word for it. This is where all the confusion is on the planet right now, because people don't know how to determine the truth from the lie. And so when I left the Jehovah's Witnesses, that was my number one priority, is I wanted to never have that happen to me again, where I was deceived. Like my whole life was a big deception. And I never wanted that to happen again. So I made it my mission to become an expert at being able to determine the truth from the lie. It doesn't happen overnight, because you have to learn how to trust your internal yes or no. You have to have a good connection with your spirit guides. Also, being able to clear all of that interference for all the times you were in your brilliance and your gifts and your light and your magic and your alchemy, but then you got killed for it. Well, those imprints are still in your field. So when all of you healers start to expand and step into more of your radiance, your brilliance, your gifts, you're bumping up against those lifetimes where, didn't go so well. And this is also why so many people are struggling right now. A lot of light workers have been called to the planet now to help us through this transition, but they still have imprinted in their field the times when they went through that previous cataclysm, global cataclysm, and didn't make it. And so maybe some of you are a little freaked out about kind of like what's going on. Is it going to be another one of those? Um, it won't be for me. I'm on a different timeline, and that's why I'm here now, to help humanity through this timeline, into this golden age. And so, one of the things I'm hoping to do is Vibrant Longevity Academy is certify um, infinity system practitioners to be able to do this work. And we just keep helping each other expand, evolve, and grow. All right. So let's see, what do we have here? Take Q&A now. That was pretty much the gist of what I want to talk about today. All right. Paula, I'm having trouble with getting my yes and no when I ask questions. If I tell myself, yes, I want to believe that the yes, it is a process. It does take time. And I want to believe the no, then the no is true. Yes. So it there's lots of different ways that you can learn to calibrate a yes or no. You might try dowsing. You might try using those wands. What are those called? Dowsing rods, pendulum, muscle testing, using your body as a body pendulum. If it goes forward, that's usually a yes. If it goes back, that's a no. There's lots of ways, but the main thing is that you start practicing. And if it's still very cloudy, then maybe it's time to get a tune-up or some cleanup of what's going on in your field. And so one other thing I wanted to let you know is that because right now I'm not taking on any longer term clients, 1 or 3 month clients, because of the journey to Bali. And so, there'll be at least 2 weeks, 3 weeks that I'll be offline. And so I didn't want it to interrupt anybody. And so I thought that there's two things, is that this would be a good time to plan for June if you wanted to work with me, or and so what that would look like is, now you could get one of the reports, a vibrant, no, it's called a vibrational altitude report. There it is. And so if you can't find this on my website, because quite honestly, I've forgotten if this is on there, but if you can't find this on the website, then just email support@kimberlysherry.com and just ask for any of the things that you want, uh, and you can't find it. So this would be one, the vibrational altitude report. It measures more than 40 calibrations. I don't need to talk to you. I don't need to see a picture of you. You don't have to answer any questions. I just need your name. And that's not for numerology or anything. I mean, I've done these reports just with an email address, but it's just to have a name to put on your report. So this would be a good time to get a report. And in the meantime, you could start trying to clear what's off in your report. And then when we get together for 30 minutes, when I'm back in June, there may be a chance we could, set something up beforehand. But it does come with a 30-minute chat. So ideally, I'd like to save that chat for when I return, and then we could see how you did. Maybe if you spend a month trying to clear all the stuff in your report, we can check it out and see how you did. And also, for the first time, I've not done this before. In fact, it's usually only available during the 12-day program. So let me just back us up a second here. And this is just in case you guys are interested in getting some additional help. So my monthly luminary activation is a very powerful energy clearing where we spend a whole hour live, and this is part of a membership. But it's only $49. If you can't invest $49 in yourself, then you're probably in really big trouble. But at any rate, there's that opportunity. So that would be one suggestion, is to come on board. We're going to clear all kinds of stuff. The next luminary activation is all about here it is. This is also on the website, but just so you know, okay, so I don't have the title. So it is about, hang on just one second. The next luminary activation is about passion, but it's not like sexual passion. A lot of people think that, well, I don't want to do that. So for whatever reason, but it's all about igniting the flame, awaken the passion that powers your path. So that is what the next luminary activation is going to be about. So we're going to spend an hour getting closer to what drives you, that passion, that burning passion in you that can drive you, instead of being fueled by all of this angry energy that all of you have intercepted. And so we're going to be transmuting all of that into and accessing more of your passion. So that's the first day of the 12-day program. So you can either do just the luminary activation, or you can join us for 12 days of a daily practice of running your energy for 12 days with this theme of all about your passion. And so if you decide to join the 12 days, it includes the luminary activation. So I'm just going to say that. These are super values. For one, it's an extremely generous offer for what you get in these 12 days. It is massively transformational. If you're new, only join the foundational program of the 12 days. It's no joke to say that the advanced program advanced. As a matter of fact, this is going to be the first time that I'm really going to screen those who join the advanced program, because it can hold the whole group back, honestly, and it can kind of blow you out of the water if you're not ready for it. So I'm going to prevent that from happening this time by screening those who join the advanced program to make sure that it's a good fit and you're not going to blow yourself out. So this is really powerful work. So those two things are available between now and when I go to Bali. And I'm going to offer this one other thing. This is also available during the 12 days as an optional add-on, but I'll just tell you what it is. Um, and I'm going to make this available. I've not done this before. Usually I don't because people get a little band-aid and it's just really they really need open heart surgery and they're just signing up for a band-aid. But if you know that you just need a little help with a little something to get you over the edge or to kind of open up something, you just need a little bit of help, then sign up for this 30 minutes of my personal one-to-one time. There's no reports with it or anything. It's just let's just dive in and get to the deepest, most relevant things that are going to move the needle the furthest, and can get through a shitload of stuff in 30 minutes. So I've never offered that before outside of the 12-day program, but it is going to be available and needs to be used before May 15th. So just saying. So that's available there. All right, let's see what questions we have for all of you. Well, I guess we'll take this off here. Hang on. And we'll get back to your comments here. So let me see. Mhm. Does the flame color matter to transmute energy? No. That's where I encourage my students to experiment. This is not a cookie cutter thing. My work is a template for you to add on to and experiment and see what works for you. I'm always learning from my students. So that is that. How do you tell the difference between normal anger and anger that comes from outside influences? What degree of anger is normal? Yeah, right. Well, I'm not here to make anger wrong. Anger has its purpose, except that most people are using it as their default energy. And so I don't operate on, well, how much is normal? How much should I have? Like when I work with people and when I'm working with myself, I try to keep all the anger out of my energy field, knowing that if I ever need my anger, it'll be there in a heartbeat. If I need to tap into my anger because I need it, it's always going to be available. But in the meantime, clear it out of your energy field because it's likely not even yours. It's kicking you out of your body, hard on the nervous system, hard on your relationships. And so I believe keeping anger at 0 and tap into it when you need it. That's, to me, that would be more normal. Never know to do the black flame or the light flame. Well, try them both. See what works. I've been using more of the white flame now. So for those of you who don't know about the black flame, but might think, oh, that's black magic. No, the black pure darkness is the same energy that's in a mother's womb. It's the same energy that's below the surface of the earth, where the root system in all the blackness converts decay into life. So that's pure darkness. And so that's what that black flame, pure black flame, is all about. But experiment again. I'm in favor a little bit more of the white flame now. So do you recommend the first book at this time? It is the only book available. I haven't written the second book yet. So yes, that would be a yes. How do we stay focused on, okay, I think I already answered that one. Yes, link to the book. Awesome. Yes. Okay. So now I think I'm caught up down here. I'm having trouble with getting my yes and no. Okay, we did that one. Looking outward. Okay, good. I have trouble not letting my thoughts get in. I have trouble not letting my thoughts get in. I'm not quite sure what that means. Okay, let's see, Sandy's. Have you calibrated Judaism, how close to the truth is this religion? From my initial, I've not measured this before, so I'm measuring it in my head. And so it looks as though there's been massive infiltration for what that religion is now. So if I'm measuring Judaism as a religion today, as how close it is to the truth, I'm getting 15%. So take it or leave it, calibrate for yourself. So here's someone who was involved in a cult for about 12 years. I did have some supernatural spiritual experiences in there. Yeah. Well, we can, there's everything is not all bad. There's good parts and not so good parts to just about everything. Very dark environment. Yes, wondering when there will be no more IRS. Yeah, Trump is saying he's going to do away with that. So, not sure. Maybe by the end of 2.5 years. I don't know. Okay, great. Well, I'm glad you're excited about the academy. I'm excited about it. I never wanted to certify anybody because I think, well, I don't own this information. This is, it's been given to me. But what I've noticed is that people like being certified, and it shows that they've done a certain amount of work. And, this is also, um, okay, I'll save that for another time. Never mind. It's about being certified. So I will be using my gifts to certify you, to making sure that you're ready to be certified. Um, it's same as calibrate the same as discernment. No, it is not. So calibrating is actually measuring, and so what it's tapping into. So I'm basically standing on the shoulders of Dr. David Hawkins, who did this scale of human consciousness. So everyone knows about the Hawkins scale. So I'm standing on his shoulders, and that's where my scale is going from. So this is calibrating with actual numbers. And so this is why I stress the importance of learning how to calibrate. Get your yes or no. If you can't do that, you're not going to be able to calibrate, if something is 50% or 100% or 23% or whatever, so getting that internal yes is where the calibrations or measuring all starts from. And discernment is, I think that's a little too vague of a term. It's important. We need to discern. We need to know. I think that's really more of the process. We need to discern the calibration, but it's not the same as calibrating. Do you have an idea of how much no, I don't have a clue. Haven't even started yet. So maybe you'd like to give an idea of how much you'd like to pay for a year-long program. That would be maybe better. Wondering the percentage of dark. It was at 30%. Oh, yes. Right. So you're talking about the angel versus demons thing, right? So I was surprised to see that today because the demons had started at, I think it was 55%, because they were over the 50% mark. There were more demons than there were angels. And then it's like the angels took over, and then the demons went down to 30%, 70% angels. So right now, it has turned in the other direction in a very big way. So maybe this is also another big reason why we're feeling so much more angry energy on the planet. So sadly, light workers, this is your opportunity to shine and start doing more of your work and getting your light out into the world, because right now the angels I'm getting are only at 15%. So darkness is quite rampant. But I have some good news about something that I reported previously, because we have been working on the QFS. We'll call it the Queen Frank Sam. If you know what this is, it's about, the collective this. And so um, this is when a lot of psychic attacks started happening after I did that. It's on YouTube. There's a whole hour-long clearing of that avatar. And so you'll just have to go see, because I don't want to say too many words about that. But at any rate, that we took 13 families out of the collective on the planet, and because they have it set at 500, and so took them out, immediately went to infinity. It's kind of gone a bit going up and down as many of us are working on this avatar. It is currently at infinity. And so that is some good news. So maybe that will help with this RV, the reset value of monies on the planet. And, but well, that's good news. Anyway, to me, it's good news. um, uh, on Thursdays for the live, is there another time? I'm not available on Thursdays. Well, I don't. Oh, you're talking about the live. No, this is a monthly, once a month. So if you can't attend live, then do the recording. That's 95% as effective as being live. But to not do it at all because of not being able to be live, if you're interested, just sign up and you get the recording. And for those of you who are interested in really diving deeper into these activations, there is an opportunity to sign up for an annual subscription. You'll get 5 months free. And so now we've divided it up into 2024, it was a whole year, and now 2025 is the next year. So anytime in 2025, you're going to get from the beginning of 2025 onward. And so yeah, there's all the activations that we've done this year are going to be in that annual subscription. So that would be a great way to start binge watching recordings, which are 95% as effective. All really powerful things. It really is. I've done 4 in a row. It's totally amazing. Yes, Desi, thanks for letting us know. It'll knock your socks off, right? Okay, so if you'd like to do the 30-minute one-on-one, I'll put that link up again. And if you can't access it here by writing that down and putting it in your computer, make sure that lowercase, uppercase is all correct. Just email support and ask for it. So that would be the next best thing. Let's see. I would say to get started. Yeah, Sandy thought it was lower too. Yes. So maybe some of you have been feeling that it's like feels kind of dark right now. You're not incorrect. And also, yeah, there's a lot going on with the Pope. I mean, they opened all the portals on what was it, New Year's, or whatever, whenever they did that, some crazy nonsense. So here's Kimberly, who's got some good advice. I would say to get started, I've read your book. I do the motivation sometimes twice and still don't feel present. Yeah, because you still don't have a grounding core. So my suggestion would be to sign up for that 30 minutes and let's get you grounded so that you can start having a really good place to start from. Then you're going to know what feeling grounded is like. And then for many of you, it's going to be a lot easier to go from there forward. So it is a starting point. It is not waving of the magic wand and all of your problems are going to magically disappear, but it's a good starting point, and we can clear a lot in 30 minutes. Okay, so you've read my book and done multiple meditations twice a day. Yeah. And so, yeah, it's time to really feel the difference between what's grounded and what's not, and clearing those energies that are preventing that. And then could cords be behind what are called mind viruses? Um, the mind virus is an etheric virus that it's a program by the dark side. And so you might have that in addition to cords. So yes, that is true. The last 12-week money program, every machination of the dark side was activated to interfere with me doing it. Well, congratulations. It's time to move past that. Yeah. So, so here's a very generous thing that's also happening with the next 12 days. Because I wanted the um, the affirmations for sovereignty to be included in this program, because I think that those are important in the second half of the program, is that the money bundle. I just thought of it. That's already is that like the cost of the program is going to be included in this next 12-day program. So foundational program, you're getting a $95 value right there. And the program itself is only $111. So, I mean, this is, I don't know, it seems like a no brainer to me, like to kind of get you guys back on track. So that whole money bundle is going to be in there. So, yes, it's time. Yes. And so just so you guys know, and I don't want to talk about this. I didn't want to talk about this, but I think it's important for you guys to know that my life is not pristine and everything just, rosy dozy. Is that after doing that video about the financial system, that the psychic attack was very, very real on my end, and massive abdominal cramps, like to the point where I could barely even walk, and also like my eyelids became all swollen and crusty, and they peeled, and it was horrible for a vain, a recovering perfectionist Libra. That would be me. So yes, so this shit is real, and we have to be able to navigate both light and dark. All you light workers need to learn how to navigate both of these worlds so that we're not afraid. We can't be afraid. So it wasn't fun, but it's certainly not going to stop me. I'm kicked off of TikTok. That's not going to stop me. I'm just going to keep going. And so I keep doing my best and keep coming back here as I'm called. And I don't have a schedule of when I'm going to show up here. I show up when I'm called, when Spirit has a message to deliver, when things feel important for you to know. And ideally, that'll be once a week, but maybe twice a week. Maybe I skip a week. I don't know. Sign up, subscribe so that you'll know when I go live. And because these are all really important things in your evolution, your growth, you're becoming light workers, you're continuing to evolve into these healers so that you can help humanity. People need a lot of help right now. And, a lot of you are still stuck in the financial thing. Oh, I don't have the money. I don't, all the lack mindsets. This next 12-day program is I'm being super generous with what's being offered. And so please participate, and only participate if you're going to participate. Like just coming and I'm going to do another one of those things. Rather not you be there, because it holds the whole group back. I want people to come there if they're going to do the work, and I'm here to help you do that if that's the case. So, having said all that, we're at the top of the hour. And so I so appreciate all of you being here whenever I show up. And please like, share, subscribe, do all the things. And I'll see you on Instagram, where I'm going to be posting more of those shorter things that happen on Instagram, and doing these long reels here on YouTube that will be cut up by my social media person. All right. Sending so much love to all of you, and looking forward to whenever we're meeting again. Sending so much love. Namaste.